In this podcast installment, we're going to explore what is meant by the term least restrictive environment, where it comes from, and what it means for your classroom and students. The term least restrictive environment, summarized with the acronym LRE, comes from the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, also known as IDEA, passed by the U.S. Congress in 1990. This is not just a trendy educational term, it's federal law. LRE is one of 6 main elements the Act includes in order to ensure children with disabilities receive the same opportunity for education as students who do not have a disability. Historically, students with specialized learning needs were marginalized, restricted in their opportunities to learn, and separated from their peers who did not have a disability. The federal government took a step toward facilitating a more inclusive education experience for all children when it passed the Education for All Handicapped Children Act in 1975, and IDEA is the updated, more thorough law that requires a free and appropriate public education for all students. But as IDEA points out, it's not enough to simply provide an education to all students when some of those students are severely restricted in their educational opportunities due to a disability. The least restrictive environment facet of the law means that a student who has a disability should have the opportunity to be educated alongside non-disabled peers to the greatest extent possible. This means that students with a disability may require access to learning supplements or specialized services that assist them with learning in the mainstream environment. The least restrictive environment does not automatically guarantee that a student will be placed in a general education classroom. Instead, the term serves as a guiding principle to help schools determine what environment would be the most beneficial to the student with disabilities. This determination is made by a team of school personnel who reviews the student's strengths, weaknesses, and needs. As they consider which environment would be the least restrictive, the team also considers which accommodations would be necessary to help that student achieve their educational goals within that setting. These accommodations are specified in the student's individualized education plan and frequently include elements such as access to a resource room setting, extended time on tests and quizzes, access to an in-class teaching assistant, or instructional supplements provided by the classroom teacher. The specific accommodations vary from student to student. Accommodations like these would hopefully help a student with disabilities access a general education setting. However, should accommodations prove insufficient in helping a student succeed in the regular environment, then the student would be placed in a more restrictive setting. The term least restrictive environment provides flexibility to schools in determining which environment a student can best be supported in. This flexibility has caused some controversy as there are many who desire full inclusion classrooms. Inclusion classroom advocates claim that all students, no matter the disability, have the right to access the general education setting. The concept of the least restrictive environment takes away the all-or-nothing ultimatum for students. Instead of students with disabilities becoming a segregated or disenfranchised population, schools now provide education services on a sliding continuum that seeks to accommodate students according to their unique level of needs. When it comes down to it, students are people no matter their disabilities. The least restrictive environment serves as a guiding principle to help every child succeed. The next step is for staff throughout the school to embrace each student where they are at and accommodate their needs to help them develop to their full potential.